good mulch for the garden. Just straw. But we know there's no straw seeds or anything in here because chickens would have found them all.
So
this would be good to lay down onto the garden beds.
Yes. So this is one of our chicken tractors that we moved to our garden during the winter. And so we used the deep litter method in here where we just keep layering clean bedding on top of any bedding as it gets older. And the chickens will scratch through it and break it down and everything like that. And so we used straw. And so they would go through and eat up also like any of the seed heads in the straw. And then this is full of like any of their chicken manure. And so a very good friend of ours just recently is moving, and they gave us all of their chickens. So they have Jersey Giants and some Barred Rocks and some backyard mixes. And so before we put them in our chicken tractor, we had a lot of other stuff going on today. Sean wanted to scoop out all of the chicken bedding from our girls, and since we're setting up our garden beds anyway, this will be a very good mulch. So sometimes your homesteading stuff doesn't all get done during the day. Sometimes you lose your daylight hours and use a flashlight, and then you just keep going. So he's going to quickly clean out this chicken tractor. It's all dry. And then we're going to lay fresh shavings down in here. And just because they're new girls, we'll be setting up a dust bath in there with diatomaceous earth and some sand, just so that they can, get all that under their feathers. And if they are coming with any issues, that'll help them stay clean. We had taken all of our chickens that were in this chicken tractor. We had about, how many we have in here? We only had like 8 chickens and guinea hens left in this one. Yeah. And we moved them to this one that's behind it. And we just combined them with all of the girls that are in here. So you can see all of our guinea hens are on the roost. Our chickens will roost here. And then also, I don't know why they're not using that side roost, but anyhow, they're all in this one. So we combined, there's about 25 in this chicken tractor, which is kind of like what we like to max out our tractors, are in the ballpark of 25 birds, 25, 30 birds. There's plenty of room for more to roost. But when it comes to meat birds, that's kind of our max, 25 to 30 birds in a John Siskovich style chicken tractor that's converted for laying hens. And so she gave us
I did what you told me.
Around a little bit less than that. And so we just said we would combine our other birds, set up this coop for the new birds, and then they won't have to set up a new pecking order. So whenever you're combining chickens, one of the best times to do it is at night. If you're adding new birds to your existing flock, you just kind of sneak in there at night when everybody's kind of dopey and put them on the roosts. But they will still set up a whole a new flock order. There'll be a new pecking order, and so there's some adjustment that goes on there. So this time we'll just put all the ones that were already together here, and so that way they'll end up not being as stressed out. And so we're just cleaning it out. We're going to put in fresh shavings, food, water, dust bath, new nest boxes, and then give them some time to adjust. So it's also the one that's closest to our house, so we can keep a closer eye on them and make sure they're adjusting well. So I'll show you how that setup goes and how everybody is adjusting, and I'll do an update. Okay, so we're just gonna or Sean, is going to put a bag of shavings in here. So for deep litter method, if you have your coop during the winter and you're going to be using all of those shavings and everything for your garden, it's so much easier. We've used this method for years where you just keep adding fresh, clean litter on top, fresh, clean shavings. And it's a good idea to mix, sprinkle some diatomaceous earth in here with the fresh, clean shavings, when you're layering it. And then this is great because it keeps everybody dry, collects all of the manure, which is great for your garden. They call it a carbonaceous diaper. I think that's what Justin Rhodes likes to call it, or Joel Salatin. And it's basically like soaking up all of that carbon from the animals and then using it in your garden. Now, chicken litter, just in case anybody is unfamiliar with that, is not something that you want to use like directly on your garden as soon as when it's fresh. It's actually too hot. It can burn your plants. Whereas things like rabbit manure, sheep manure, those are cold manures. You can use them directly on your garden and it's not going to need an aging process. Whereas chicken litter, cows, horses, they're just a hotter type of manure. You don't want to use that directly near your plants. It can burn them. But because this is going to be layered kind of around everything and it's going to be aged by the time we plant, it should be fine. And so when it's coming out of your chicken coop, for us, like in these areas where the chicken tractors are, we can move our chicken tractors right off in the spring and then just have a really nice garden bed for the fall because it'll have time to age. But if you're cleaning out your coop, you're going to want to compost it, add it to your compost and just let it age down a little bit more. And it will be so good for your garden once it's aged. So we're going to get these girls in here and then we'll do an update and let you know how everybody's doing. Okay, Maisie, were you the biggest helper? Yeah. Success, right, Sean?
Great success.
Okay. So, I can't even show you. Here, I'll throw over here. Okay, so they're all kind of in that corner there. But we have a whole bunch of black Jersey Giants. I think there's 11. And then about 4 barred rocks and then 3 barnyard roosters. Leave it, Maisie. And so they're all kind of getting to know the other ones. They have all these roosts and they always roost on that back area. Anyhow, so great success. What we did is... Can you help me with this car? There we go. So we used some big cages that we had to transport them. We have moved them in other things before, but that worked for today. And then when we opened up the door, this door to the tractor was open, and we just put a tarp over the door and the cage so that they actually just walked right in to where it was darker in there. They just found their way in. Everybody followed each other. It actually went amazingly smooth, right? It was pretty good. Oh my gosh, can you hear the cows? Everybody's making noise, the nighttime noises on a farm. So they're gonna get settled in, find their roosts, and they should do great. There's plenty of room for them in there. There's actually room for more than what's in there, so they should be fine. So to my dear friend who very generously gifted us your chickens, we are so grateful. and we appreciate you so much. Today we had these chickens given to us, and then another friend from our church gave us blackberry starts, and so we were able to get some blackberries that we're going to be planting here as well. People are so generous here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, unbelievably generous. All right, that's it. That's the new additions to Full and Family Farm. Like, subscribe, and share to follow our adventures of our family of 8 who moved cross country from New England to the Missouri Ozarks to start a farm.